division we're going to talk about is workers' compensation. 18, 19 years ago, this company was founded on workers' compensation. Workers' compensation premiums continue to grow. 2013, it was 9%. Honestly, on average, annually, it grows from about a 9 to 10% clip. It's a requirement in most businesses. Easy first step to a new client due to that requirement. You're seeing it daily. Your business owners, your contractors coming in, they can't get contracts. They can't get on the job without workers' compensation. It's the worst performing major line of insurance, so it's tough. Carriers and even now MGAs are changing appetites fast. So you need alternatives, which is something Appalachian Underwriters is going to provide. Pace of business is important. Getting a quote, getting a turnaround is essential when you're competing with other agents. As I said before, with your workers' compensation, you can fax it in, email in, or go online to quote. One of the things we do point out here at Appalachian Underwriters, because of our history as being a go-to for workers' compensation in this industry, not only when you talk MGA broker do we write the hard-to-place stuff you think of when it comes to MGA and brokerage. One of the things we always like to point out, we welcome all workers' compensation opportunities. So just give us a call to discuss any opportunity you have if you're not sure. Now, some of the areas we really flourish, because we are an MGA and a broker, non-renewing policies, if your insured's being non-renewed, cancellation, if your insured's being canceled, or if you got an insured that's just got some losses, they got a higher mod, and they're being forced out to the market, and potentially they're looking at the state pool, hey, we want to see those risks. General appetite has always been monoline guaranteed cost workers' compensation coverage. Premium size, depending on the carrier, depending on the class of business we're talking, range anywhere from $250 up to $1 million. Now, let's talk about some of our sweet spots, what we typically write. Contractors and artisans, retail shops, restaurants and bars, hotel motel risk, manufacturing operations, office exposures, auto service and sales, your garage, used auto dealers, residential, commercial, janitorial services. We really see a lot of submissions within those categories. Is that all that we write, all the categories we see? Absolutely not. Just on a recurring basis, that's what we see the most of. Now, what separates us? Well, here's some of the accounts that most other places deem rather impossible, but we have markets available. Temporary staffing operations, professional employer organizations, aviation exposures, USL&H operations, home health care and assisted living. I love pointing out home health care and assisted living, one of the fastest growing industries out there. When I started in the business, everybody said, hey, the baby boomers are going to start planning their retirement. They're getting up there. They're the highest population class. That's the business you want. So sure enough, I was in retirement planning and insurance. Baby boomers was a huge business. Well, that was over 20 years ago. Now we're at the point they are retired, and the largest population class is seeing a growing need for this home health care and assisted living. In your area, if you really think about it, you're seeing a lot of it too. Highly recommend using us for that program. Now, our hit ratio is around 30%, which is above average for this industry when it comes to workers' compensation. For an MGA and a brokerage, we are above average in our hit ratio. Here are some of the major class codes we see on this page, and just take a review and look at some of them, see where maybe some of them fit what you do. We work multiple markets on your behalf when available. Most are national carriers, A-rated by AM's Best and Best in Class. Each carrier has underwriting appetites that differ from the next. However, we see that those overlap amongst each other, so that's where it gives us the opportunity to go to multiple markets for your risk. Now, does that mean every risk we're going to have multiple markets to go to? No. I mean, there are going to be instances where you have one market, maybe it's the state, maybe it's the class, whatever it may be. But in a number of cases, we'll have maybe two or three. So If we have 12 markets in your state, that is not 12 markets that every submission comes in, we're sending to 12 markets. Our underwriters are qualified and trained to know, and especially the repetition of what they see in terms of submissions. Once they have your submission in hand, they know the market or markets to immediately go to try to get the best quote possible and get that business placed. We offer competitive commissions and pay plans. So we do have pay plans available. We are not a pay-go outlet. A lot of people ask about pay-go when it comes to workers' compensation. It's not something that we do at this time. Commissions, we pay, depending on the carrier, depending on the class, anywhere from 5% to 10%. We actually have a market on a work comp, depending on a class, that will pay 10%. Now, this is not everyone, but here are a number of the cast of characters to look at. Each one of them unique in their own right, but as I said before, a number of them overlap to where we have multiple markets to go with your risk. As you can see, we have a very strong core here of carriers to help us place your business. Now, in terms of placing your business, there's getting the business to us. I will go back to fax. Email is available. As you can see there is the fax number. You can write that down if you'd like. There's our email address. But we love to talk about our proprietary Express online work comp rater. It is really one of our pride and joys. Our proprietary technology, it provides you what you want and when, an indication immediately. We have updated our online rater to where now you can actually request bind if it fits, to where within 24 hours, everything you need is right there for your client. It is a tremendous tool for you, the agent, especially if you do a lot of workers' compensation. The other thing I want to point out, when we talked about the classes we see in our hit ratio at 30%, that's above industry average. Our hit ratio increases for online quotes to 40%. That's a 10% difference in the odds of us placing your business, getting the best quote possible because of using the online rater. So that's a huge difference when you're really competing, trying to get business placed. The online rater system is great for that. And that's it for workers' compensation.